Hamjambo. To the right is the Principal Secretary for Trade, Madam Regina Ombam. And to the left is Dr. Mukwana, in charge of trade, and Abu Bakar, in charge of investments. And our officer from trade?
From
industry.
Yeah.
Welcome. So this is a statement on tax measures and business licensing prohibition made by our neighbors, Tanzania. So the East Africa Community, that's the EAC, remains Kenya's largest market within the African region, accounting for 28.1% of our total world exports, estimated at 297 billion in the year 2024. Recently, the United Republic of Tanzania ranks as Kenya's second largest EAC trading partner after Uganda, with an transfer of 63 billion only. Now, between Kenya and Tanzania, our trade in 2024 was at 63 billion shillings. The government of Kenya has, however, noted with great concern the imposition of new and discriminatory tax measures by the United Republic of Tanzania. These measures threaten the regional trade gains that had already been registered in previous years. Of concern is the recent Tanzania Finance Act of 2025 and the amended Tanzania Excise Management and Tariff Act of 2019, which have introduced excise duties and the Industrial Development Levy at 10 and 15% respectively. And this also applies for goods produced within the community, including Kenya, Uganda, and all the others. Also of concern is the recently gazetted business licensing, which is basically a prohibition of businesses by non-citizens. That's an order of 2025 that prohibits non-Tanzanian citizens from trading in 15 services, including the operation and ownership of micro and small industries. The order, which includes significant penalties for violations, takes immediate effect except for current license holders. And therefore the question will be, for those who are there who have invested heavily, once the licenses are over, what happens to them? And this is a major concern, because one of the provisions of the East Africa Protocol was free movement of goods and people across the community. Kenya acknowledges and respects the sovereign rights of East Africa Community partner states to legislate on domestic matters, but also upholds the importance of consultation, coordination, and consistency in implementing policies that affect cross-border goods transfer. The measures taken by Tanzania are substantive and undermine the core objective of regional economic integration under the Common Market and Custom Protocol. All partner states made binding commitments under Article 13 of the East Africa Community, CMP, specifically to allow East Africa Community nationals to establish and operate businesses and not to treat East Africa Community nationals less favorably than their own nationals. Kenya requests that these restrictions be removed and that Tanzania reverts to measures provided for in the East Africa Community Protocol. The business licensing order, which seems to be criminalizing lawful EAC investments, will hurt both economies. It is therefore critical, in the spirit of EAC, that bilateral engagements be held to resolve these critical matters. The government of Kenya, through the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, has been engaging constructively in a number of consultative forums aimed at creating an environment where these trade measures are aligned with principles of the EAC Custom Union Protocol. Already the first extraordinary sectoral council of Finance and Economic Affairs, which took place about a month ago, mandated the Secretariat to compile a comprehensive list of excise duties, levies, and charges by members that are contrary to the Customs Union Protocol. This will be presented to the EAC Secretariat on the 30th of August 2025. The Secretariat was also directed to align national definitions of imports and exports as per the EAC definition by 30th of June 2025, and later convene a compliance-focused second sectorial council on finance and economic affairs session by 30th of September 2025. More sessions of bilateral agreements have also been agreed upon with Tanzania to address the recent measures and existing trade concerns, including a technical meeting on tobacco products scheduled for 4th and 5th of August 2025 in Arusha. Another joint trade committee to review levies, fees and charges will also be held on 11th and 12th of August 2025. We are therefore positive that these engagements will yield positive results grounded on the fundamental principles of the East African community, including the free movement of goods, people, and transfer of services, labor, and capital. In line with the spirit of the EAC, One People, One Destiny, we are committed to upholding the principles of non-discrimination, transparency, and equity, and to guide all our future trade-related decisions.